Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here for the O.C.C. scrims on this beautiful, well, beautiful for some, shitty for others, Saturday night. I am the Loud T-Rex, joined here by Jet himself. Jet, how you doing tonight, bud?
Oh man, doing pretty good. It's a nice, actually pretending to be summer day out here in Oregon. But excited to watch some Overwatch gameplay for our plat teams.
Right, so it's going to be, this is actually the televised one. So for those of you at home who aren't aware, OwOSA v Aether is going to happen here live on the stream. Meanwhile, Frost v Monarch is going to be happening somewhere in the background. So yeah, we don't really necessarily have the stats as of right now. So that's kind of where we've moved into this format. And really, it's really the only way that we could do it. And I'm pretty happy with it. How do you think the season's been going so far, man?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited about all the changes that we have going forward. It seems everyone's kind of got renewed vigor, and I've had a ton of people reaching out to me for coaching and input, and things along those lines. So it seems like we're getting a lot of really steady improvement by everyone. So honestly, I'm stoked.
Alrighty, well, this is the first plat match of the season. Well, like I said, that we are going to have televised, and it's going to be two of the later plat teams. Aether was really fresh. Thank you, Rith OW, to sending us that cheer. But as I said before, we just had Aether join in our lineup just very recently, come up with a lot of players from Titans and Void, and then we also have people from OwOSA that were built a little bit later in the, what would it be, later on in the year. So and then Frost v Monarch, they were the first two actual plat teams that we had. So Jet, what do you think we're going to be expecting here tonight?
Well, I think for the most part, got to keep an eye out. Aether's chemistry is really good. Maybe not individually the best players for as far as like compared to the rest of the plat teams, but their chemistry is just top notch. So I'd be surprised if they don't able to make any mistakes. And then it looks like for the other team, they got OwOSA. They've been putting a lot of time in practicing. I know O.C.C runs a pretty tight ship over there, so we'll be seeing if they can kind of catch up with the chemistry advantage that Aether has.
Alrighty, well, here they come on in. Space Mew is going to be on the trademark Reinhardt as we start in on Nepal for the first plat match tonight. Now, it looks like it's going to be Aether starting off running with the Reinhardt. Neff going to be taking up the counter, jumping on in. They're going to rush on in straight in onto the point. Fire Strike does come on out. Looking for that first pick. The two tanks are going at it. It's going to be huge to see who gets that first pick. Space Mew has got to be careful. Here comes the charge. Neff looking for it, but getting absolutely punished. Good save there by the Zarya shield. The swing fest is still going on. No hits have been done yet, but Nassif Khan manages to land it on Sips T, and it's getting absolutely insane here as the 5v6 is going down. The hammer down does come out, and it's absolutely huge. March helped out with the clean here with Neff, and that's going to be a first point grab here by OwOSA.
And OwOSA had a really good job dealing with the Mei. You really want to avoid getting walled off and make sure you stay together, and they did a fantastic job of it. So let's see if they can keep that up. It looks like Aether will be staying with the Mei, and they're going to need to get more value out of it for it to really be a strong pick here.
Alrighty, here to come in. Volley once again into Neff's shield as they start charging on in there. Space Mew leading the count, and here they go in. A hammer down does come out, and the ultimates do come out. The Kamehameha by Trickster, and that's absolutely huge. The Nano Boost does come out for Space Mew, as Space Mew looking to land themselves a pick, but nothing yet. Here comes the ultimate from Nat. The hammer down comes out. It's huge, but no big follow-ups just yet, and that's going to be it, as it seems that Aether gets routed one more time. The Mei is on the point by Lucifer, but it's not going to be enough. OwOSA holds it once again as we move up 50% to nothing.
Yeah, and OwOSA there, I mean, they just had the counter for everything ready. They started out with the grab really strong, and they even beat the Lucio to having his ult, and then they were able to EMP that away. So it's going to be really tough for them to re-engage this with essentially just a Mei ult against the other team's ults. So see how it goes.
I'd say it was really good ult usage there. They were really staggering the way they were using the ults, throwing it all at the same time. But now the ultimate does come out from Lucifer, looking to take out Neff. The anti-nade is huge, and the Aether does come out looking to try to land themselves a pick. Only two left on the point, and it's not going to be enough. Trickster is the only one left, trying to get as much percentage as humanly possible before getting taken out, and that's going to be it. Aether does manage to take the point back with 85% remaining. That's the no-no zone, ain't it?
Yeah, and that's where you're coming. That's where they're noticing that they've got that value with that Mei that we were talking about. Got the team walled off, got the ult through. They're gonna have to be playing really close together to avoid that happening again. And the 85% is pretty much right on the line where you can't really lose a team fight very quickly, or you're not gonna have a chance to get back. So they'll have to play a pretty flawless game from here on out.
Right, they don't have any other opportunities, and if Nat does manage to pop out that ultimate, it could be absolutely horrendous. Here she comes looking for a pick, and the ultimates do come on out. Trickster looking to save the rest of the team as Waifu does pop out that ultimate, and Sips gets caught up, and it looks like OwOSA is going to be able to rout the rest of the team, even with a solid anti-nade by Ruby. Waifu looking to try to hold on, but it's not going to be enough. The switch to the Pharah is going to come on in, but it might not make much of a difference here.
Yeah, they died with a lot of ults there, so they were planning on having enough time to recontest. So we'll see if they can actually make that work for them. It's going to be pretty scattered, to say the least.
Ooh, it's going to be a nano-boosted Pharah in the skies, looking to jump on in. Has a lot of that defensive juiciness, and here comes the Zarya looking to try to make short work of him, and it looks like it's going to be it. Lucifer not able to do all the damage in the world that is necessary. Nat manages to get the pick, and that's going to be it as OwOSA manages to get this first point here on Nepal.
Yeah, no, OwOSA's ult management that whole match was really top notch. They didn't overcommit to any. They always had some for the fight, and it seemed like Aether kind of had to put all their eggs in one basket just to get the point taken. So, not really characteristic you see from Aether, but we'll see if they can really make that adjustment for this next map here.
Do you think it was really that use of the Mei? I think the Mei was a little bit different, because I know Lucifer's used to playing a lot of those flanky characters, usually like Genji or... I think
all the characters that are no longer valid because Goats is very big. But yeah, I mean, he could have generated a little bit more value with the Mei, like I said. It's a good pick on. I don't really like it on that map so much. The third point of this one, you notice it a lot more. But they just weren't able to get any value with the walls and get them split, which is kind of Mei's big advantage there. So I think that was a change that needed to happen sooner than later.
All right, so the 4-2 is coming out from OwOSA, able to have a lot of beefy targets, but not a lot of damage output. Looking for a hook. They start on in. Nasif Khan on his hamster, managing to take out Space Mew, but it is a 1-1 pick with Lucifer managing to land a solid one, and it looks like no picks are coming out. Nat managing to land a solid pick, and Nasif looking for that back line. But Nasif Khan getting cut in, looking to try to stay alive, and manages to do so with a great hook, and it looks like it's going to be Aether having to back off and having to regroup.
Yeah, I know you're noticing that OwOSA's coming out and pretty much you're not going to be able to stay on our point comfortably comp. They got a Hammond for boop, hog hooks, and Orisa pulls, so they're going to have to hit really hard and fast to get in their backline. They're just going to keep getting CC'd by these movement abilities, especially with that Nasif Hamster just causing havoc in their backline.
All right, looks like the ultimates are coming out online. Trickster looking to try to make some short work, and it's going to be him, Nasif Khan, and it's going to be Neff really making life hell for Aether as they're unable to find their feet. And the quadruple tank is working extremely well. Nat helping to clean up against Waifu as we move into the 40% for OwOSA.
And these are clean fights. I mean, you look at the ult percentage, Aether's not even getting a chance to generate and use ults for the most part, and the chance that, OwOSA has double ult cycling them. So they're doing a really, really good job of just having really quick, clean engagements. And you kind of want to try to sustain a little bit more so that they can build some of that ult economy back. So see if they do that.
All right, here they come in once again. Sips helping Space Mew lead the forefront of that attack, but there's so much damage running in. Great nade coming out from, it's going to be Ruby, and now the ultimates are coming out. Space Mew managing to come out, maybe landing a clean kill, but the rest are not going to be able to make it. The boop comes out in great time by Dank Monkey. Great job on that environmental, and it looks like Aether still has absolutely nothing to show for it. Nat looking for the pick on Waifu, who has switched over to the Junkrat, and that's going to be yet another clean fight. We're moving into the 87%. And the Roadhogs are going at it, still pushing up into the front line. The ultimate does come out from that, looking to try to rout the rest of the team, and that's still not going to land any kills. The Kamehameha does come out from Trickster to try to keep the rest of the team hidden, looking for the pick on Dad, but it's still not going to be enough. Space Mew looking to try to get into that back line, and an anti-nade comes out, and it could be clutch, but Dank Monkey saving the day. bringing out the sound barrier to help out the rest of the team, and so many boops are happening. Aether is unable to figure out what to do, but Waifu, looking for a clean ultimate, manages to land a triple kill before getting completely taken out. And the fight is still on as Central Time looks to do everything to try to hold it, but that's going to be a quick point or map grab here by OwOSA.
Yeah, and OwOSA coming out really strong. You just notice that every single fight they have 2 ults at least to work with, and I know that Aether's just kind of having to use them defensively just to try to get back into the fights, and they're just not able to. It's been OwOSA's playing clean, honestly. They're playing really, really coordinated, and that was a very uncharacteristic team comp that they used for that map. But it worked great, especially using that Hammond as just main disruptor, so they could never be comfortable and kind of sit back and let their DPS get free damage. It was just really, really well done all around by them.
I think their investment in the boot potential, I think that's really where they shone. Because, you know, most people usually just stick to the Orisa Hog combo, and, you know, they'll have the Lucia that's able to boop around. But they really, really, really did invest in it. They did have the Moira that could get out of dodge in case something really, you know, in case something big really happened. But,
yeah,
you know, Dank Monkey was everywhere. He was moving everywhere. Nassif was able to figure out which key targets he had to get into, really disrupt them. And then you had Neff that could, you know, once Nassif was in that back line, Neff was able to either use the halt to try to pull someone out of position. I mean, it was just so much more movement from OwOSA. Aether was having a real difficult time from picking up. At least that's what I saw, unless you were... You know.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right, honestly. I mean, their team comp is synergized really well with their playstyle they're trying to work with. I think Aether would have had a really better time if they would try to go dive or something a lot more mobile, so the boops weren't really a big deal. You get booped as a Genji Tracer or whatever, you don't really care, So I think they should have adjusted their comp a little bit better around that to help counter it. But they just they wanted to keep running what they were comfortable with, and that was unfortunately. I honestly feel like if they got the other map that wasn't that one, then they would have had a lot better chance. But OwOSA was just ready to, as I said, they synergized really well, and it countered what Aether was trying to do perfectly.
All right, thank you for the follows, Fenshia and Honeydew24. Your support does mean a lot. And really, I think that I think it was really just the fact that it was a control map, though, that I think was really difficult for Aether. Because I always feel like control maps, there's always that consistent offense-defense shift. It's never a singular style of fighting, And it's really just depending on where on the map you are, the resources that you have at hand. And it seemed like Aether just was unable to really use the map to that advantage. They were just unable to really figure out where they were supposed to be standing most of the time. But for the next map, we're going to be moving into Numbani, which, as a hybrid map, I think that might be a little bit more to their advantage. But they are going to be swapping off Lucifer, who is known to be more of the main flanker.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that people get caught up with a control point is they show up to point, right? They see this point here that they have to go take, and they think I have to go fight on there. A lot of people don't think about going around the sides, taking a little bit more better map position, or even going around back behind the other team to make them really really focus or change their line. And that's a really common thing. They just want to show up to the point. They want to get it as fast as they can, and that was just kind of what Aether fell into. Even though it would have been more in their benefit to kind of get better positioning with their limited mobility, but they're going to fare a lot better on Numbani, I think. Seeing them typically in the straight line maps, they perform really strongly, so I think they're gonna have a really good time as long as they can get first point through attacked. That's kind of the hardest one because there's so many weird angles and it's just shaped really strangely. So we'll see if OwOSA does come out with something really uncharacteristic, just like they did last round. Though I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Well, here's the thing. So Nat, this was different for me. Nat, I've always known her to really play a Widowmaker, so to see her playing the Sombra, that was a little bit different. And then seeing her play the Diva, once again, really different. So here, there are really good Widow sightlines. Oh. So it's as I was trying to get at, really seeing them, I don't know, I feel like they were kind of just playing roles that we weren't really traditionally seeing them in. So this time we'll be seeing Sheepy. Oh, I don't know who'll be playing the DPS this time. I know Sheepy normally plays, when she played on Titans, she primarily played a DPS. As many times I've seen her on Aether, she's mainly healed. So I don't know if she'll be trying to go ahead and go into the sniper battle against Nat tonight. Because I know Waifu also plays the hit scan.
Yeah, I know they've been focusing around having Waifu do a lot of the DPS work. But yeah, seeing Nat's flexibility has been So that's a really good thing. There's just sometimes that map specifically where snipers aren't really effective a lot of the time. Numbani first is one where it's a little bit better, I feel like, but I think one thing people get caught up in is they're always like, I want to stick with what I'm good at no matter what. Sometimes it's better to play an average role that counters the other team and synergizes with yours better than it is to play like a good quote unquote role you're just comfortable with that doesn't synergize with the team or you're getting countered on. So it's good to see her have those changes, and I think if she can just keep working with what her team is wanting to run, then they're going to have a lot of success. OwOSA's looking really, really strong today.
Alrighty. Thank you, Detective Slammin, for joining us here tonight. And yes, I'll agree with that. I think maybe it's also, correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't know, a lot of it is also how well can you use that character. Because I don't know, some people are potatoes when they play, like let's say they do play an Orisa, it might be a great counter to, I don't know, whatever composition somebody might play, but it's just that inability to really get into that role. I think it also would also hold them back. So I don't know.
Yeah. There's also the concept of skill floors with certain characters that like they're harder to inherently get into, things along those lines. But if you're kind of get that point where you're proficient enough, then it makes a difference. Obviously, if you're brand new with the character, it's going to hold you back. But if you can get that proficiency up so that it just holds its own instead of necessarily carries, then you'll be in a lot better shape.
Alrighty, here it goes. Looks like OwOSA is not going directly onto the point. They're going straight, trying to get the high ground and trying to clear themselves of any issues. But Sheepy is playing the sniper role, and they manage to get knocked off. Looking to get Sips-T, and Sips-T does get demeched. OwOSA is trying to make it work, but Sheepy manages to take him out. Waifu looking to try to land yet another pick here on Naseef Khan, but Naseef Khan manages to land it on Central Time. No picks yet coming out here from the side of Aether, and it looks like Space Mew is going to be the only one left on the point and is going to be taken out relatively quickly. Oh, I don't know. Yep, there it is. Naseef Khan using that right click to go ahead and finish it off, and great job here by OwOSA using that high ground to go ahead and keep themselves in power.
Yeah, and they did a really good job of taking high ground and not necessarily staying up there, but just knocking the other team off there. When you're running this much of a Goats comp, where your range isn't really your friend, that's huge. So even though it seems like a small thing, that was a pretty integral part of why they actually took that fight.
Alrighty, here they come in once again. Nat has got to be careful getting out of the front line and looking to try to get into the back line. Does get healed up. The ultimate does come out from Trickster. Trickster looking to try to push that, use that as a start to the engage, trying to get into the back line, looking to see if maybe he can get Dad, but Dad managing to get out of dodge just in time. Great healing done, and it looks like it's going to be it. It's going to be exactly what they need. Space Mew now going Angry Monkey, looking for a pick, or at least to disrupt the enemy team, but they don't have any protection from their main tank, as Neff manages to pick up so many kills here with Mars. As now OwOSA, with over 4 minutes remaining, are going to be able to get it. Well, they're about to get it on the second point.
Yeah, and I think they have the team comp advantage right now. They're just playing around it. I mean, so they're running primary Goats for the most part. They're trying to run a Genji Mercy heals into it. It's going to be really tough for them if they're going to take head-to-head fights. They're going to have to try to utilize the mobility a little bit more and try to get them split up, which they're not really doing. They're just kind of letting them stay in their little bundle cluster right at them. So they're going to have to make some adjustments if they're going to stick with this team comp.
Nat in the back line does have her ultimate available, looking to see how she's going to get this started as the Reinhardts are swinging away at each other. Sheepy does manage to pick up that kill on Neff. Meanwhile, she tries to go ahead and keep it on Nat, tries to go for a quick flick on the Tracer, manages to make it work, and that's going to be an offensive stop. Solid defensive hold here from Aether.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to want to do, is try to keep them zoned out as much as possible so that Sheeps can get as much damage as they just get to them. So they're doing a really good job of trying to damage these Sheeps, but they're going to be in a tough spot here as the ults start coming out.
And here it comes out. The Pulse Bomb does manage to land on someone. Waifu does have the ultimate available, but no team to really help him out. And it looks like Trickster manages to help pick up the kill as we're starting to get into this straightaway. It looks like Aether is going to be in trouble. Sheepy in the front line has got to be careful. Gets backed up here by Space Mew. They have the capability for a 1-2 punch, but they've got to hurry up and decide where they're going to take it out. Here comes a hammer down from Neff. Sheepy does have the ultimate available. Is she going to lose it against Nat, and loses it ultimately? And it seems like Central Time with that ultimate is able to help sustain for a little bit, but with Neff getting so much damage out, able to make it work. Great job there by Dank Monkey. Sound barrier able to help keep everyone alive. That ultimate might have been just too little too soon, as OwOSA is showing the dominance that they can have here tonight. They complete the map with so much time remaining.
Boy, that's gonna be really hard for for Aether to match. Honestly, they kind of were trying to run the Shimada Bros comp for the most part, but nothing really having synergy with each other. So they're just kind of relying on individual plays, and it wasn't quite working out for them. They didn't really have much on defense for when OwOSA bundled their ults, and gosh, that's gonna be, as I said, a really hard beat to match.
What were they? OwOSA was running a 3-2-1, correct?
Yeah, so they were just using the Tracer to harass the backline. Looks like they were doing a good job of keeping it on the Mercy, so she couldn't really just sit and damage boost anything. Also, distracting Sheeps was pretty big for them, because a lot of times if you let a Hanzo just kind of do what he wants against these kind of goats-ish comps, he can do a ton of damage and really kill your engages, but they had Nat in the backline just annoying him and the Mercy, and they didn't have really enough heals for their front line. And also staying on Monkey for so long without really a lot to go with it, the Monkey and the Genji really never together for the most part. They were kind of operating individually. Just don't really like the Monkey Genji on that second and third point with how they were running it. You kind of, when they're running those triple AoE heals, you really want the Genji to get a lot of value from the blade, so you usually run a nano with it to ensure that you get a nano blade through, but just wasn't really getting much out of it. I would like to see something a little bit more sustained damage, just to help out the front line a lot. And as I said, if they're going to be running characters that aren't going to be direct counters to goats, which is pretty much goats itself, then you want to try to make sure they're a little longer range so they can get a lot of damage as they come up. So looks like they're making a couple of adjustments going on to the Pharah, which should actually be a really good counter if they do stick with that same comp. So
No, it looks like they've switched out, going for a pseudo dive composition without the Lucio. They are going to have Trickster playing the Ana instead. I don't know how I feel about that one. They might be able to make it work, though. Their movement has been incredible. Now, Space Mute starting off this initial fight with Sips T taking a little bit of that damage. The anti-nade does come out, and that's going to be absolutely detrimental as it looks like they're able to make this work. Great job there, though. Waifu picking up the kills on Mars as Space Mute finds the way onto the high ground, looking to try to keep the whole team protected, but there's just so much range, so much distance. The D-Mech does come in as Naseef Khan in a bad spot. Aether able to land into the high ground and keep them busy. The ultimates are going to be coming online relatively soon. Waifu looking to try to get a pick here on the Zen, and that's going to be absolutely huge if it does work. Central Time coming out of the woodworks to try to go ahead and help out. Dank Monkey does get taken out, and here comes the ultimate, but Mars getting put to sleep and getting taken out relatively quickly. Space Mute does have the ultimate available, but the hack does come out into Central Time. It doesn't matter. She is already ulted, and it seems like Aether is looking to try to hold on to this as much as humanly possible. Naseef switching over to the hamster, lands the pick here on Sips T, and the ultimate does come out from Neff, managing to take out Central Time. Space Mute getting taken out, and after a long push, OwOSA manages to hold that front line with 2 ticks grabbed. They do have 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, but they still have a long way to go.
Yeah, they did a really good job of just staggering coming back in and staying alive, despite having pretty limited heals. And they never went Aether never went and chased down Trickster and just were able to let him get back and keep the front line up. So really good job recontesting by them, even despite the tanks overcommitting a little early and getting some early deaths.
Alrighty, here they come on in. Sips T looking to shoot up top as Nat looking to try to get a backline pick, and the Hammond ult comes out. Space Mute in a terrible spot, and that's absolutely dangerous, as it seems that Aether is still looking to try to hold on to this fight. Waifu does have the ultimate available, as Mars looking to try to be a back nuisance into the back line, and it seems that Aether is unable to continue that forward offensive. They're going to have to back out and try it again.
Yeah, and I would like to see them make a couple switches, something a little bit more mobile. I don't really like the McCree pick so much. I mean, he can be able to stun the Hammond, but he's very open to getting dove against his team. So I think they could, take a little bit more advantage of some mobility. But it looks like they're really going to stick with what they're comfortable with, like Aether typically does. So we'll see what they can do.
All right, here they come on in. Space Mew getting taken out relatively quickly, but Waifu managing to land a pick. Oh, and Naseef Khan stopping the ultimate before it ever happens. But it seems that Neff is the only one on point here with the hammer to back him up. There is still a lot of team available. Naseef Khan does get anti-nated, and it seems like Aether starting to make their way in. Central Time not taking any more of Nat's nonsense. And it seems like Naseef Khan's just rolling around, trying to stall just a little bit more for time, going for the spin to win. Space Mew misses it, and Aether manages to grab it with just under 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah, they were finally able to break through, but I will say that Naseef and Neff are doing a really, really good job of diving together, getting a lot of disruption in to make sure that Aether's never really comfortable. So if they can keep that up, they're still going to be in good shape as we get to this much more mobile base second point.
Alrighty, it looks like Space Mew getting hacked once again as Nat just shooting away, getting taken out by Waifu. That could be a massive pick, as now they don't have that Sombra pressure to really concern with. Waifu does have that ultimate available. O.C.C still at 33%. Here comes the ultimate from Mars, looking for some solid picks. Goes to the back line, doesn't get Ruby, and Ruby gets the sleep on a nano-boosted Genji. Able to make that work. Space Mew hesitated for just too little too long. And it's not going to be enough as Aether is scrambling around looking to try to stay alive. But Neff, being an extreme annoyance, gets taken out by Waifu. So many counter picks are being done. But Aether, unable to find the win here, have to back off and regroup.
Yeah, and even though they lost that fight, they were able to get Nano Blade out of the way and also Monkey Ult out of the way because of that big sleep. So they were able to kind of get rid of that free fight win and made the other team invest a lot more than they were planning on. So still, even though it was the lost fight, still ends up being a pretty good positive for Aether. Let's see if they can follow up.
Ooh, and Nat gets taken out relatively quickly. Once again, they don't have the Sombra pressure to really worry about. O.C.C did switch out, and Dank Monkey is waiting on a massive ultimate. He's not looking to spend this out relatively quickly. They've got to be careful, though. O.C.C looking to dive on Dank Monkey, trying to force out the Transcendence, and there is absolutely no need, and the ultimate does come out, shooting away, looking to try to take him out. Naseef Khan does go for the ultimate on the point, but it's still not going to be enough as the rest of Aether able to back off. Mars is going to be on the point. The ultimate does come out from that. Their mobility is skewed, but it doesn't matter. Space Mew can left-click W, able to try to pick up some kills, manages to pick up two. The only one left on point is Trickster, and they managed to make it to the second point with just over 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and Aether's doing a really good job of utilizing that mobility we were talking about. The switch onto Monkey Diva is big, and you're noticing that OwOSA is really struggling. Their healer line is really struggling with having to deal with these tanks in their face instead of having just kind of free reign when they're running a lot more straight line comp.
Alrighty, here they come in. Space Mew up at the top has got to be careful. Goes back and regroups with the rest of the team. They've got to be careful with Neff switching over to the Reinhardt. That's a lot of forward pressure. They do have that solid shield. They've got to continue that going. Neff has got to be careful. Here comes the ultimate. Comes out from Mars. Looking to try to nab a few. That's two. Looking for a third. That's a third on Space Mew. Looking for Ruby, but Ruby able to have someone to protect them, and that's going to be exactly what they need. But great job by Naseef Khan, able to finish out the pick here with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining for Aether.
Yeah, and they're going to want to have to go pretty quick here if they want to get two fights. So they can't be playing any of this poke at the choke stuff. But they should be able to take advantage of the fact that their front line is a lot less damage with Nat on the Widow and Mars on the Genji. So we'll see if they hit them hard and fast like they should.
All right, here they come in once again. Nat looking to try to get a pick, but the dive from it's going to be Waifu looking to try to finish this off relatively early. The switch over from Space Mew into the front line. Neff gets taken out as the hammer down was coming into play. Space Mew looking to try to get some picks here with that Lucio, and Aether able to find their footing with that Lucio, helping out with that speed boost. Dank Monkey retreats back over to the spawn point with the rest of the team. Trickster manages to land a solid sleep, and Space Mew able to back up O.C.C with a clutch block. Here they come towards the very end. Dank Monkey has to pop the ultimate, or it's going to be too late, and the ultimate does come out from Waifu, looking for that Zenyatta pick, the healer pick, looking for another one. Neff has got to be careful as it looks like the McCree ultimate does come on out, and great job here by Aether as they manage to pick up this 3rd point.
And that was absolutely amazing work done by Waifu in general. I don't know if you saw, but he was in their backline just causing them havoc. The Widow wasn't comfortable, the Ana and the Zen were running for their lives, and Waifu just did an amazing job of letting their front line get pretty much able to just walk at them with their supports being distracted. So I'd say hats off to Waifu for pretty much, I wouldn't say carrying, but like came in with the big blade and the big distractions. So it was a big part of why they were able to cap that, even though they're going to have a huge time disadvantage now.
Well, I mean, that having Waifu in that back line really made it difficult for that Widow. So we did talk on that. But we got to talk about another massive pick, which is Space Mew managing to take out Neff as he was ulting, completely negating him. So it would have been a big pick, but with the nano boosted Space Mew, able to fire strike through him, takes him out, and then now they're just using that forward offensive. Waifu was able to get into an advantageous position and start looking for those healers. I don't know. I think that was a great part in terms of what made them made that offensive push so.
Yeah, all the cogs are working together on that one. So you get the people in the back line, you get the other team down on health, so your tanks can kind of be more aggressive, and you know the other team starts to have to try to do panic ults they wouldn't normally have to do. So it's just everyone working together and doing a really good job. I see they switched onto the Sombra now, so we got a Sombra on Sombra battle, so we'll see how that works out.
Right, but it is going to be Aether with the disadvantage, gonna go ahead and let Waifu find their way into the back line, giving out a lot of information of what's happening. They think they've got it in their heads that there's only 5 accountable players around, and they know that there's a Sombra somewhere looking for some pick. And it looks like the rest of Aether hopping in onto the point almost immediately, looking to start rushing their way in. Here comes the hack on the Diva. Naseef Khan in terrible danger, about to get demeched, and it looks like the picks are starting to come in on the side of OwOSA as Aether is unable to capitalize on that Sombra use. Naseef does go for a quick reset as the time is starting to tick down here for the rest of Aether. They switch over to the Lucio. Central Time getting in onto the point, looking to try to contest, but might have done so just a smidgen too early. Manages to get on it, though. It doesn't matter, as it looks like Neff has got to be careful. The anti-nade does come on out with the fight against the Hammond, with the pick against the main tank. That could be absolutely huge. Looking to try to get a pick on the enemy Ana, but Sheepy with the clutch kill manages to take it out, and this ultimate could be huge if they manage to land it. Lands it only on one, with Mars able to try to keep up the rest. It doesn't matter though. Trickster is the only one left on the point, and Aether is able to grab it with this overtime push.
Yeah, and for a second there, it didn't even look like they were going to be able to make it to point, but they came out with some more mobility and got them knocked off high ground. And it seems like once you disrupt OwOSA a little bit from what they want to do and just kind of position themselves, then they start to really... I feel like Aether has the brawl advantage. Like when things start going wrong and they kind of just have to be in the moment and make split-second decisions. So they got to be trying to force them to make them a little bit more uncomfortable. And they have a very good chance at pushing this a very long way.
All right, here they come in once again. Sips T is playing the Hammond, looking to try to get into that back line and make life difficult for anyone in mind. That jump up here from Neff as he goes ahead and pops the ultimate, looking for a backline pick. And it's just swinging away, but about to get taken out. And the nano boosted monkey is going to come on out with just enough time to have the Tesla cannon do the solid work, but it's still going to be a lot of forward pressure, as it's going to be the sound barrier able to keep the rest of the team protected. Waifu does have the ultimate available, looking to see if maybe they can get into that backline, but they've got the feeling the Dank Monkey does have the ultimate available. The Diva ultimate does come on out and lands on absolutely no one, but these are the picks in which they need. Waifu manages to land the pick and is absolutely comfortable, but the dash is done. Trickster gets taken out. Nat gets taken out once again, and we're seeing blue over red here as Mars is one of the only few still alive, and the pick comes out. Neff, the only one left alive, still tries to put in a little forward pressure, but is the only one left. Waifu looking to try to get the pick, but has enough discipline to hang tight, as it looks like Aether able to make it here to this point B.
Yeah, and you saw there that OwOSA was probably a half second on 2 ultimates from just completely getting rid of Aether, but the EMP came in a little bit late, and they weren't able to really take advantage of it at the end of the day. So you're noticing that they're getting in there. Oh, here comes a Nano Blade.
Here comes a Nano Blade from Mars looking for these picks, and the High Noon comes out from Sheepy. Great job here from Mars as he manages to pick up the kills. As we move on into this next phase, OwOSA does have quite a bit of ways to go.
Yeah, and they didn't have a sound barrier for that, so Mars was like, yeah, we're done with you guys pushing this cart. So he went and said, we went ahead and decided to have that one stop. But a really, really good push from Aether. It didn't even look like they were going to cap first at all. I think the biggest part that biggest situation that OwOSA really missed out on was when they had that nano boosted monkey versus the Boostio, and the team just wasn't really aggressive because that monkey deals a lot of damage, and especially when he's like on cart. And if the team would have supported him, they probably could have taken that fight. So that missed opportunity really kind of let him snowball a little bit longer. So we'll have to see what Aether comes out with. They're probably going to want to go with something that could command high ground a little bit more, and as I said, mainly try to get rid of OwOSA off high ground and make them really uncomfortable, because it seems like when they start entering those brawls that they have a hard time getting the wins off of it. So
I think a lot of that could be attributed to the focus fire. I don't know, could be quite a bit, but they do have a lot. Even if they do lose this first point, they have a lot of space to work with. That being said, that doesn't mean they should feel comfortable.
No, you're 100% right, because it's easy with 4 minutes and 53 seconds. They cap with a minute, and the other team gets a lot of time to push that card for second point. So they can't really afford to just let them walk in easy. It looks like they're going with the Bastion strat on defense, which that'll keep high ground pretty well. So we'll see how well the other team can adjust.
All right, moving their way with that 3-2-1 combo. Will the Bastion be enough to make it work? And they're looking to try to go ahead and get the positioning advantage one more time, but this has got to be played almost perfectly. Looking to just shoot on in, blindly going at it. Ruby does take out one, and it looks like this might be everything that they need as Mars gets absolutely shredded. Nat looking to try to get into that back line. Trickster does get in on the point, but knows better to go ahead and get off. Nat gets absolutely deleted with the Moira still alive, having to back off. And it's going to be a great hold here from Aether.
Yeah, and you see Waifu hasn't moved an inch since he plopped down right there. So he's not gonna until they force him down. So they'll have to make some adjustments to get some kind of mobility. I think they're planning on having Nat go up there and take care of it. And we see Central Time winning the Moira 1v1 there.
Alrighty, so here they come on in. Aether looking to try to hold their ground here tonight. Although OwOSA did manage to land that first tick, Naseef Khan trying to get a little bit of charge, but Waifu understanding better than to go ahead and shoot the shield on a Zarya, completely negating that shield charge. Looks like they're going in for the low ground, trying to go ahead and get the advantage on the high ground one more time. Waifu has got to be careful as they know they're going for him. And knows there's nobody else around, just blindly shooting on in, looking to try to land a quick pick. And it looks like OwOSA very hesitant, trying to figure out when they're going to come on in. Here comes the ultimate from Waifu. Oh, and Trickster gets absolutely deleted by this ulting Waifu. Incredible work here. Central Time picks it up on Neff, and here we go. We have a pause.
Yeah, it looked like Neff unfortunately started disconnecting towards that fight. No shield or anything, just running into the wall, taking Bastion tank shells, so that's really unfortunate.
Oh, no, that's what happened.
Yeah, so the poor Moira thought they had a shield and just got blown up immediately. But I do see what they're trying to do. I think that one thing that Aether could do when they start going around that way is just back up Waifu a little bit. The main thing that they can do is get in his face and try to get their burst damage down on him. So if they just back him up, you got Hanzo and Bastion damage. They'll give them a lot more space to work with, so we'll see if they end up wanting to do that. But that's pretty much what they're putting their win condition on. Well, it's pretty much what OwOSA is putting their win condition on, is just running up there and then running at the Bastion. So normally I'd like to see something come out maybe a little bit different here. Maybe run a Hammond, start booting some people down, Diva and Matrix some stuff, and then maybe just sit in the corner once they get on point, just right beneath the Bastion so they can't be shot by him. So they are kind of putting their eggs in one basket with that up high push, and I don't really know if they have the damage to pull it off. because you see the insane damage by Waifu and Sheepy. Sheepy's playing great right now, not really having to really negating Nat's ability to flank. So we'll have to see if they make that adjustment. And I don't like going up top either when they're running a Hanzo, because he throws one dragon in there, your team's in big trouble. So
you see, I think the hard part right now is that's also going to be for OwOSA is that the ultimates are coming online for Aether. Mm-hmm. So, they've been going at it. I think they had the right idea for that first push. But now this has been going on so long. Sheepy does have ultimate available, able to try to make that work. I mean, Sheepy has the ultimate available, Central Time has ult available, and Ruby's going to have ult available within the next few seconds. That's a lot of ults to really go against OwOSA at this very moment. Yeah,
no, you're 100% right, and I think that Aether's just got to really try to cycle their ults the best. But OwOSA's really got to do a better idea of dry pushes and baiting out ults. So, and as you see, that here comes out everything.
Here comes everything but the kitchen sink as Mars manages. I don't know. It's just such a brawl right now, looking to just jump on in, and it might be exactly what they need to be successful. Ruby is trying to keep the dream alive on the point, but it's not going to be enough as the rest of OwOSA is able to just do so much damage and close on in all that distance. Central Time getting completely focused and destroyed. Waifu unable to set up once again. Ooh, the ultimate does come out from Space Mew, and they're just coming in trying to eat up as much time as humanly possible.
Yeah, and that was a big defense from them to burn up a ton of time. So they really only have to win probably about 2 fights, and maybe not even that if they just have a really long first one. So right now they should be looking at trying to stack as many ults as possible and trying to bait out the other team's money comps. So trying to get out Sound Barrier and Grab would be a huge advantage for Aether's defense right here, while they just stack their own and try to. I would ideally like seeing them switch on something that synergizes a little bit better as their own money combo. Mailed or a Grab would be really ideal right now.
Right, especially when they do have Waifu playing the Pharah. That the 1-2 combo is going to be absolutely crucial. Now, it looks like Waifu up into the sky looking to try to get a pick. Sheepy, great job there. Here comes the ultimate once again, shooting it onto the point. Manages to land it on Mars and looking to try to delete Neff from the server. And there she goes, taking him out. And it's going to be OwOSA with the final 50 seconds of this map. They've got to make something happen, or it's going to be over. And I don't know. What's up?
They have to get some pressure on Sheepy for the most part. I mean, the Sheepy's just ripping apart their team. Their poor tank line's just getting hit by headshot arrows like crazy the second they drop shields. So they got to get some pressure on her. Sheepy's just going to rip them apart. Nat's got to win that sniper duel.
And Nasif Khan popping the ultimate, looking to try to make it work. And the ultimate does come out, looking to try to get the pick on Ruby, but Ruby is getting taken out. Waifu, understanding that there is a Widow, has to try to find another avenue of approach. Manages to take one out. Neff in trouble, and here comes the ultimate from the Space Mew, swinging away, swinging for the dream. Dank Monkey gets taken out, and here comes the pick, looking to try to get it on Nasif Khan. Great pick here, though. Great shield by Nasif, as Mars manages to stay protected, and this offense is still being pushed. The ultimate comes out from Mars. 2 ulting Brigittas swinging away, looking to try to make it work, but an ultimate slam comes out as Neff may be the hero of this map, looking to try to finish us off. Space Mew gets taken out. Central Time has to back off. Sips T, the only tank still alive. We're coming into the final stretch, and Central Time gets absolutely staggered. They don't have a lot of time to work with. They do have a few spare seconds, but that's all they can. They are at the very end. They've got to hurry up and get someone in onto the point. Aether looking to try to way to get this started. They pop the ultimate just a little bit early. Space Mew rushes on in to try to keep it going, and it's going to be the final fight. Space Mew gets taken out, and the ultimate comes out from Waifu. Nasif Khan coming out with a clutch kill, and the ults are still coming out. They're not able to make it work. Sheepy looking to try to keep it going, but it's not enough damage coming in. Mars managing to land the pick, and it's going to be OwOSA. After they pick up this final kill on Central Time, they are now up 2-0.
Yeah, and OwOSA had a lot of really, really strong plays there. It started out with Nasif doing a really, really big brain play, in my opinion, of just running around around the bus and direct grabbing the back line. Caught Sips sleeping, who should have been trying to eat that grab. But it was just a really, really strong play by him. And then not to mention that they were able to just keep them staggered after they had him dead. And for the most part, like, I think one thing that Aether could have done, especially on that last engagement, was it takes about 10 seconds after you cap the point for the card to start moving forward. I think if they would have set up a Pharaoh Barrage behind their own Rhine Shield, which sounds weird, but it prevents the Widow from getting any damage on them, then they would have been able to get a lot more value out of that ult instead of spamming it. So I think they could have done a couple extra things, and I think the big part of it was just staggering in over and over again and not getting a full group because they were just kind of panicking. They had to get on card ASAP.
Alrighty, well here comes the halftime. OwOSA up 2-0. The question is, can Aether go for the reverse sweep here tonight? That one we're going to find out after this halftime. Folks, please go ahead and take this time to go ahead and grab yourself some popcorn, some beer. If you're underage, go ahead and grab yourself a soda. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you guys for, those of you who have stuck around. Thank you for the new people who've gone ahead and followed us today. I am the Loud T-Rex, and I am joined, and I apologize for those of you who've never been here. The analyst with me right now is our current head coach. They call him the Papa Jet. They call him Mr. Jet. But around here, sometimes they call him Daddy Jet. I just call him Jet. And and here we are commentating on this wonderful plat match, Aether versus OwOSA. And honestly, OwOSA has been, they were relatively dominant in the very first map, but moving into the second one, Aether was giving them a little bit more trouble. I think, what were your thoughts on it? What does Aether need to improve in order to go ahead and try to secure these wins?
Well, I think what any team can learn to improve on in general is just focus firing targets. I know it's pretty vague, but just people making the adjustments in the middle of brawls to go after certain targets. But I think one thing that Aether's doing a really good job of is that they need to go back to is when they're running diver flankers, just getting into that backline and causing havoc. It doesn't seem like OwOSA is doing a really good job of keeping their counter diving and keeping their healers alive for the most part, and their healers are kind of panicking. And just trying their best to stay alive, and their front line kind of gets shredded afterwards. So I think if they just can utilize that, it's just going to be hard on Hanamura. It's such a choke-centric, such a slow map in general. I don't really like it myself. But I think if they can just kind of focus on, as I said, backline harassment in some way, shape, or form, they'll have a lot better luck. Because it seems like when it's just kind of straight head-to-head walking at each other, that OwOSA's sort of anything remotely close to GOAT's comps, they're just a little bit better than them at. So we'll have to see what they come up with. And it looks like they're going to have Sheepy spamming out the choke as Junkrat. Always a lovely play. Then Lucifer Reaper, I think they're trying to play like a little bit of a counter GOAT setup. So and then it looks like we got OwOSA going for, OwOSA's going to be going for the May Symmetra. So that'll be interesting to see if they can pull that off.
Alrighty, well here we come on into the second half, as it's going to be OwOSA on the offensive push one more time, looking to come on into that right side. Space Mew notices him, shoots the fire strike in. Nasif Khan manages to block it at the right times, and Thoxin pushing his way forward, and I know Jet has some beautiful strong words here for our Zen.
Yeah, I know. I've been working with him a lot, so I'm excited to see him going for it in the scrims. They're teleporting onto point right now, and it looks like they're going to try to do the May wall so they get a free tick.
Ooh, and the free ticket is Zenthoxin in the front line, looking to try to go against Space Mew, manages to land the pick, but Lucifer Akuma looking to try to go ahead and finish this off, and the wall one more time. Central Time unable to make this work, and it looks like Aether able to really finish this one off. Sheepy comes on out as Mars goes ahead and gets the anti-nade. Great job here by OwOSA.
Yeah, and OwOSA runs that so strongly, and even Aether was a little bit ready for it. They speed boosted in and didn't give up the free tick, but it was such a panic for the most part that they kind of went in individually and got focus fired down, lost a lot of health pool advantage. But it's a pretty strong play by them. OwOSA's ran it a few times now, and no one's countered it yet, so might as well stick.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix.
Mm-hmm.
Here they come on in, using Dank Monkey to go ahead and come on in on the side, looking to try to isolate somebody, and Space Mew might be caught in a very terrible position. Lucifer switching over to the Bastion, looking to try to take someone on. Zenthoxin does get taken out, and it may be Aether able to salvage this opportunity. Nasif Khan not having any sort of protection for himself. Dank Monkey, though, doing a great job, able to take out one, but it's not going to be enough, as it seems that Aether is not falling for it again.
Yeah, and they went for it, but they got their hand caught in the cookie jar a little bit again, and Aether was ready for it. That's pretty much the big counter to that. You got a May and a Symmetra. There's no high ground mobility. Ryan Zarya, just nothing really for it. So you get the Bastion and the McCree up there, and that's just going to be a bad time for anyone that's on point.
Yeah, great job there by Aether. Able to really consider that, but they did lose a tick and a half. So OwOSA does not have much further to go through.
No, they really don't. And they're just going to try to, looks like a dry push down mid. Maybe teleport up. Oh, nope, just straight out of point. And they're going to make them see if they can all come down.
Oh, no. Big boy plays are going to be done. And they use the ultimate to keep the entirety of the team above.
That was
unbelievable.
Absolutely perfectly done by OwOSA on that. grabbed the people that were going to come down, and they walled off the bastion that was going to shoot them, and they just didn't have anything ready for it.
Oh my God, folks, you saw this here first. What an incredible play by OwOSA. Man, Nassif must be losing his mind in voice comms right now.
And I will say, they looked like they'd practiced that a few times. So, props to them for putting in the work and getting it done. And Aether's got to feel like they got hit by a truck with that one, because that's tough to get hit by that so hard with 5:31 left. If the other team happens to double cap.
Well, 5:31, and really, if you weren't expecting it, it almost feels like a ghost cap, because nobody died on that last push.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other team even had ults still online. I mean, they still had a lot of fight left in them, but they just said they almost got cheesed a little bit, but can't really call it cheese when it's just well executed,
And by the way, there are 100 cheers here from Elfie saying 100 bits for Jit because he bad. So just
a lot of love from Elfie there.
Alrighty, but now it's going to be Aether trying to go ahead and make something of this. They are not going to have a Reinhardt tank, so Zentoxin might use this to his advantage. Mars does have the McCree available with the Gladiator skin, so it will be on OwOSA to decide how they're going to go against this very mobile composition.
And I'm excited to see the Lucifer Hammond. That's something I've never personally seen, so we'll see what he can do on that little hamster boy.
Ooh, but great job there by Aether, able to take out that main tank. Lucifer might be in some trouble as Mars manages to pick up the kill. The 1v1 does work. O.C.C does manage to pick it up on Mars, and just as quickly as they made it happen, it looks like Aether might be able to make this work, but the picks are coming in just too strong. Dank Monkey able to pick up two, looking to try to land one there on Sheepy. The push isn't over yet as Zentoxin finds his way back onto the point. That is a lot of damage from that Discord Orb. Central Time unable to finish out that pick as they're starting to make their way on in. The ultimate does come out from Central Time, but not able to finish anything off. Dank Monkey has got to be careful, gets booped, but to no avail. It's still not going to be enough, and the ultimates do come out. Two defensive ults as OwOSA tries to keep this going. Nev swinging away, or Zentoxin swinging away, getting picked off, and it might be Aether who still manages to push this one in. With 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, that might shift over to just over 5 minutes.
And you notice that for the most part, they did a really good job on the recontest, but they just got a little greedy at times. They could have just played like popping back on the side over and over again, but they just dove right into him, just got focus fired down. But Aether, if they can get a speedy cap here, they can pretty much make this match equalize, which has already been a super close one.
Well, let's see what kind of play they come out with. They start on in, pop out the ultimate. Mars looking for some solid picks. O.C.C managing to take him out, and that's absolutely huge. Space View does get put to sleep. The hammer down does come out, but there is no main tank on the point. Doesn't matter. There was no one there anyway. McBean might be in some serious trouble as Zentoxin gets the pick here on Central Time. They're pushing their way in. The ultimate does come out from Lucifer. Mars tries to go using the flashbang to make it work, but it's still not going to be enough. Sheepy using the mines to try to zone off the rest of the enemy team. Dank Monkey still alive. Ruby looking to try to land that pick. And great job here by Aether. Undeterred by that quick pick, Zentoxin switching over to the Monkey, trying to go ahead and finish this one off. The ultimate does come out from Sheepy as the battle ensues. It still continues through. Lucifer does get picked off, but Central Time finds their way in onto the point. Ruby takes out McBean, and the switch over happens to the May. Dank Monkey looking to try to stall for as much as humanly possible. The ultimate does come out from that to try to finish this one off, and the high noon comes out from Mars. Ruby does get picked off as this battle is seemingly never-ending. Central Time still swinging away and try to keep this going. The ultimate does come out, and the ultimate comes out from the Diva. O.C.C unable to really make it work. Space Mew still pushing on in, and they've got to be careful. Central Time about to get taken out. It might be the end of it as the ultimate comes out from downtown from Ruby, trying to keep the tanks alive. The ultimate does come out from McBeanbean to try to keep it working, and Aether is unable to complete this, dropping so many ultimates, and it looks like with 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining, OwOSA is still able to hold their defense strong.
And they were able to hold on despite Aether just throwing everything at them. I think where they kind of fell apart was the Monkey Diva and the Hammond all kind of got disconnected on who they were shooting, and individually they don't really do a lot of damage, and they were just kind of able to weather the storm, kind of on their I guess you could say lack of coordination on who they're shooting.
All right, here they come on in. Lucifer trying to get some picks, trying to do some boot potential. O.C.C managing to eat the anti-nade as Space Mew swinging away, but the ultimate does come on out. Mars coming out with a solid 3K, and that's going to be OwOSA with another big defensive hold and a great stagger here against Central Time.
And that's one thing I don't really understand when they're running the super mobile high ground comp, that they're just going straight on to point. I feel like if they're going to be doing that, the Ryan Zarya would just suit what they're doing a lot better. So I think they could just adjust the play style and work more with what their comp's suited for, and they'll be in a lot better shape.
Alrighty, here they come on in once again, looking for maybe what it looks like it might be another dry push, and Lucifer fallen prey to yet another hack. It looks like he has not learned his first lessons, and Thoxin finding his way down into the main line. McBeanbean and Mars still holding up that top line, not giving that away, and it seems that Aether has to back off, waiting for Lucifer to come back in again. They've got to be careful. If they keep losing Lucifer that early into the match, it could be completely detrimental. Lucifer looking to try to gain a little bit of space. Central Time popping out the ultimate.
Free tick.
Looking to try to boop the rest of the team. Gets a free tick, and here comes Nap popping the ultimate. Zendoxin looking for a solid pick, but Central Time already has the ultimate available, and here comes the picks. Ruby looking to try to finish this one off. And the Diva ultimate comes out. Great job there by Aether, making this a match and not going down without a fight.
And it's kind of funny because we saw OwOSA with the big grab to keep him on point. You see Lucifer come in with the mines so they can't just drop on there for free. So just a lot of zoning stuff just from just keeping them from being able to drop freely on point. And they got a free tick and almost had a cap before they were even able to react. So really good job by Lucifer, who's trying to make up for that little bit of ham and feeding before the first couple of fights. But he did a good job making sure that they were zoned and not able to do anything.
Yeah, no, he did a great job. I think we're seeing 1,000 IQ plays here right now, man. That's that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, no, it's just a lot of good execution. Honestly, knowing what the situation is as far as how much they have to go for the ticks, and to get the double cap. But it's going to be tough for them to make up that 2.5 minute, if not actually a little bit more than that, deficit. For this first point, it's going to be a really good indicator on how this match is going to go. So they need to be really aggressive and try to maximize their fights as quick as possible. It'd be interesting to see if maybe they just go goats.
No, please. I can hear the collective groans from the Overwatch community as you say that.
I think we're all sick of that by now. But I think they'd honestly be really running a flanker or two, trying to get into the OwOSA backline and kind of make them panic because they seem to pull most of their team back.
All right, here we come on in with another pause.
Just got to disappear in the middle of the match real quick. Big deal.
And let's see who it goes ahead and falls onto. We're not really seeing anyone just yet.
This looks like Central Time's AFK, so I'm sure they'll be back in a second. But let's see what we got going on as far as the team comps here. It's like Nat's going to be running that Mei. They're going to be trying to wall off people as they walk in. Sheepy, I really like that Grab Dragon pick, honestly, especially with 2.5 minutes. That's pretty much going to give you one money combo. And Sound Barrier is not really super good against the Grab Dragons if you guys do it close enough. So
especially
I think that's for them.
Close enough, and if you have Space Mew in that front line, able to dish out that additional damage, Sound Barrier's going to crumble really quickly.
Yeah, and I don't know Central Time's hero pool, but if they run an Ana, they can commit a Nano Blade too, and that's kind of 2 money combos, only 1 defensive one. So I actually really like those 2 picks. I think they synergize well. Obviously not if the other team is running goats, but I don't think that they haven't really ran, or OwOSA really hasn't ran that for the most part, so they should be safe on it.
All right, looks like they're going for the Moira. So that's what they're going to be running here. Naseef Khan poking out, looking to try to get a little bit of a charge, trying to make it work. Zendoxin swinging his way into that front line. Space Mew a little over aggressive. doesn't seem to get taken out immediately. McBean does pick up the kill, and Aether is unable to figure out where they're going to be standing. Sheepy does get a pick here on the Reinhardt, but that is a lot of pressure. That's 2 for Sheepy. Great job. Has contained that high ground, but Nassif Khan and Nat able to jump on in, finish that off. Lucifer in a bad spot, has got to run, but Nassif Khan may not be giving this one up just as soon as it started. Manages to chase out Lucifer with just a sliver of health as they're running. What's up?
Aether should have respawn advantage if they get in quick enough, so they really got to try to take advantage of that, but it looks like they're going to just kind of do a slower regroup, so like missed their window of opportunity there.
Ooh, and Sip's team might be in some trouble. Space Muse starting to swing away. Manages to take out Nat, and the quick kill comes on in from Nassif Khan. The rest of the team rushing in onto the point. Nassif Khan does not have a main tank to follow up with, and Aether may be able to hold this in. Mars gets the kill on Lucifer, but Sheepy with a solid Sonic Arrow manages to finish that up, and they've only got, let's see how much it gives them, a minute and 20 seconds to try to complete this map.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to get a chance to use Grav, so they're just going to have to rely on this kind of Dragon and Blade combo, which is not something you hear very often, to try to get something done here. So they're going to have about 1 and 1.5 fights if they work slow on it, so they're going to need to do the best they can to get in there, and they're at least ahead on the ult economy, so they'll have relatively a Blade for free.
That triple dragon combo may be coming in clutch, but they've got to figure it out and where they're going to come in. Here comes the ultimate from Sheepy. The ultimate does come out. McBean in a terrible spot, gets taken out. Sheeps looking to try to assert dominance as the top tier DPS. Lucifer manages to take out Mars, and Lucifer with a space available manages to clean this off, and they may be able to finish this off. Xanthoxin looking to rush in onto the point. Lucifer not trying to get taken out. The Xanthoxin just swinging away. Manages to land 1. Looking for 2. Gets 2. Looking to try to get 3. And it seems like Aether is unable to complete their offensive push. They've only got 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and for the most part, I think McBean coming in with that anti at the very end little bit there. Just let Zen swing away for free, and that was a big part of why they were able to hold that at the end.
Lucifer looking to rush in onto the point. Nat popping it that ultimate, and Space Mew popping it out, looking to try to make it work, but Nat's ultimate may have been the game changer. Aether just rushing on into the point, trying to salvage whatever they can, but they're not going to make it as the round 3 is complete with 1.5 ticks. OwOSA has a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, and then they really do. So Aether's going to need to come out with another one of those Numbani defenses that burns 3.5 minutes for free. The good news is they got that tick, especially, which is especially kind of surprising considering they never had barrier or grab to work with. So just really well done push from them without having to rely on ultimates. But OwOSA is going to be tough to hold. I would assume that they're going to be a little bit more ready for that Symmetra May if they go for it again. But overall, I mean, that's a really, really good job getting that tick, so they can at least secure a win, even if they give up first point.
Jag the Nerd with his 8-month subscription shouting O.C.C. Season 1, let's go. You're right, buddy. We are feeling the hype, and we hope it's going well for you, Frost, and Monarch. So we'll have that. We'll have those stats out for you guys as the season goes through. So it looks like they might be going for that sim strat again. I don't know, man.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as we've said a couple times. So I think they're gonna be putting a Bastion on point in preparation for it. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna stick with it, and why not? You got 5.5 minutes. I mean, you can try a couple things and not really be too negatively affected if it doesn't work.
All right, here they come on out, swinging. Xanthoxin leading the charge in the front line, but they are absolutely ready for them on the point. They're looking around and trying to just rush on in, but it seems that Lucifer is waiting. They did wall them off, and it doesn't matter. They're just going to start shooting away onto the point. Nat does manage to land 1 pick already, and they're hiding from everything. Great job there by OwOSA, not letting themselves get caught out. Oh my goodness.
And honestly, the anti coming in from Mars was a huge play. Denying them a lot of heals, and I really think they should have just made their presence known on point in that situation, not try to do the hiding thing. All the free damage you get while Symmetra's setting up is actually pretty monumental in that situation. And also, if you can destroy the teleporters, only 1 or 2 people get in, then that's also a huge benefit. So I think if they would have just played on point and made them deal with them instead of just being able to kind of do a brief setup, they would have been in very good shape.
Naseef Khan gets absolutely melted by Lucifer, who's trying to go ahead and take this damage in onto Xanthoxin. Mars looking to try to take out the Bastion, but not enough damage is going to be done as Aether manages to rout OwOSA, but they still have 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. They have got to play perfectly here on Hanamura.
They don't have a margin for error anymore, and I actually really like the Sheepy pick onto Reaper. Even though they're not running a super tank heavy comp, he's just so hard to deal with if you guys don't have a Discord Orb and you're not focus firing him down.
Especially with that.
That's a really good switch by Sheep.
Is he's at 40% or at 30 now? Or did he move up to, or is he still at 50?
Who are you talking about? Sheeps?
Yeah, for the Reaper pick.
53 right now. Yeah. So, his health steal's still at 50. It hasn't gone through yet. They're going down to 40, I believe.
That's the 50% of everything that they get that they dish out is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I always make the joke that Reaper just uses tanks as health packs for the moment. So if she can focus that, then it'll be very hard to take care of it.
Ooh, the repositioning as Naseef Khan is looking for the pick. The ultimate does come out, and Lucifer managing to land 1, lands 2, looking for a 3rd, trying to get it. McBean being caught out. Nat looking to try to finish off the picks. Manages to wall off the team, but it looks like it's going to be unfortunate for OwOSA as they have to back off. And here's the thing, if OwOSA can't manage to make this offense, it really is going to go to Aether for that impeccable defense.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, too, that Aether, they learned their lesson, right? They're playing a lot more spread. They're keeping some people down on point so that they can't just get cluster grabbed and the other team gets a free cap. So they're doing a lot better job of playing kind of away from what OwOSA is looking to do with this comp. I really feel like it's about time to switch off that Symmetra and go something probably a little bit more space creation. Maybe a hammer would be a good play. But we'll see what they end up doing with this wall here.
Ooh, and Sheepy gets taken out relatively early. Xanthoxin looking to try to grab the space, using the map to go around. Lucifer trying to stay away from the clutches of the Reinhardt. A lot of pressure moving forward. The hammer down does come on in. Space Mew looks to try to go ahead and counter that, but great sound barrier. Here comes the ultimate, and Sheepy managing to land 4. Space Mew with 2. And the time is starting to run out. OwOSA is losing their time as Athena calls for the team kill. Great job here by Aether. They are really using that map to their advantage.
And I really feel like they could have held on to 1 more of those ults. It's going to be tough for them to not have anything except for the Bastion against the Grav May Blizzard that's coming up. So they're going to have to do a really good job of staying spread yet again to make sure that they can't just get comboed by that. But it does definitely help to have that Zarya to be able to bubble out of it and the Reaper just be able to leave. So as long as they play around that, I think they're going to be in good shape.
Lucifer looking to try to go ahead and reposition, try to let the team come to him, just shooting some damage on in. The ultimate does come out. Oh, and the pick comes out on Naseef. Sheep's looking to try to get another one, looks down and gets completely destroyed. But still, Sheepy coming back and swinging it away. They completely avoided it. Ruby backing up Sheepy. Mars has to go ahead and back out, as it seems that the 1v1, well, what is it? The Reaper is the 1v1 champ as of right now, correct?
Yeah, they got the Reaper Brig combo, which requires a lot of focus fire, and you're seeing they're now switching to the Zenyatta, which will help out with that. And it looks like they're just going to go full Ghost. So, which Bastion's a good counter for it. And I'd say Lucifer, brief MVP for sitting where he was on Bastion to make sure he wasn't in the combo and could actually get a lot of value out of his ults and positioning.
Right, he managed to get one before getting booped, and OwOSA is starting to lose that traction. They've only got 50 seconds remaining. Sheepy knowing to Wraith out just before the battle gets hairy. Doesn't jump in directly onto the point, realizes they are completely useless at range. Ruby getting a lot of pressure as the GOATS comp has got to stay together. Lucifer still in the background, gets the high ground, to try to avoid the rest of the team. Has to reload as the rest of the team start to push their way in. Zendoxin manages to land a pick, and Sheepy looking to try to be the hero as Lucifer manages to pick up quite a few kills. Dank Monkey tries to put a little pressure, but now we're falling into the 15-second mark. OwOSA losing that victory that they thought they had initially. Dank Monkey still hanging around, looking to maybe get in onto the point at the very last second. Zendoxin has got to be careful, just rushing on in. Jumping is going to be able to touch the point, but for only a second. Sheepy looking for that final kill as the rest of the team is just charging on in, and the ultimate does come out. A Lucifer looking to try to make life hell for everyone, looking for a pick, not able to land anything. Naseef Khan is the first to go out of that ultimate, and great job by Aether making this game a reality as Aether manages to pick up their first win of the night.
And you're talking about grabbing defeat or a victory from the jaws of defeat, and they made really, really good adjustments, and OwOSA just didn't know what to do. And I think where they went wrong, especially on the Goats transition, was not getting to Bastion. I know he was up high, but when you have that Lucio speed boost, just go chase him. You guys they had a minute, and I think they were at a minute 15 when they were starting their last fight, so there's plenty of time. Just go chase the Bastion off high ground, make him be in the center of their team, or just kill him. And I think they just kind of decided to force the fight on point, the Bastion just overseeing everything. I think that's kind of where they went wrong. But props to Aether, and especially Lucifer, for knowing that they weren't really going to be prioritizing where he's at. So.
Ooh. And what was it? You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. And honestly, I think OwOSA was playing incredibly well. But at the end, they really just got outsmarted. Lucifer having that solid positioning, as you said, really understanding the situation and what the win condition was going to be. And honestly, if you have an uncontested Bastion, that is a lot of damage to rain down on a team. Even if everyone's completely beefed up, it's still really easy to find a target and just completely mow them down.
And that's why Zen's actually a super popular pick when you're in the Goats teams, is because you're able to get that Discord target and burst people down really fast. And if you're not running that Zen, which they weren't for a decent bit of it, you're gonna really struggle against a Reaper and a Brig. Those are two characters that take a decent amount of focus fire, and if you don't, then they're just gonna kind of chip you apart as they just stay alive for what seems like an eternity. And now trying to imagine that while getting shots rained down on you from a Bastion half the map away, that's not exactly the easiest thing to do. So, as I said, just props to Aether for making the adjustments and sticking to it, playing discipline. They played spread on point on the last bit to avoid the grabs and nails, and they also just executed. And OwOSA just kind of, I feel like they started to panic towards the end, and they really prioritized just trying to throw bodies on point over and over again, and not really taking their time, as I feel like what a lot of teams do when they have a decent time bank, is they just go in, and they're not okay with really drawing out fights and making sure it's a quality engagement instead of just an engagement.
All right, so we're gonna be moving into our, well, what might be the final map of the night, Junkertown. Which a lot of people love. It's the Pirate Ship Central, Sniper Central, good Pharah plays if you can muster it. So let's see what they're going to bring. Maybe we might see Nat popping out on her Widowmaker. We might be seeing, well, it looks like Sheepy has been replaced with, it's going to be Waifu jumping in this time on the DPS slot.
Yeah, so that doesn't look like they're going to be sticking with double sniper, I would guess, which is really, really popular here. I'm really not a fan of this map myself, but it's really going to come down to, especially if they do run a pirate ship, on if the other team can engage on them and not take a lot of residual damage. And if they do run the double sniper, yeah, the other team's dive is. So just going to kind of come down to if they're willing to make the swaps. I feel like one of the biggest reasons teams fail on Junkertown because they're stubborn. They're like, I have like 40% until my ult, so I don't want to switch. But this is really a kind of a map of rock paper scissors. Sort of Overwatch comp chess for the most part. So it's just going to come down to who's the more disciplined team and who doesn't really decide to be the most stubborn team either.
So I have a question for you. Let's say you're seeing a losing fight, and you do have your ultimate. You're getting ready for the next engage. Do you get into that fight, pop the ultimate, and see what happens, or do you switch out to a counter of the enemy team? I feel like question's always asked.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's situational, like everything, right? But I think I'll use an example, okay? And you're gonna see that with Pharah Barrage is the most common one, where players will stay on Pharah despite the other team running like double hit scans in. You know, they'll stay on and say, "Oh, I'm gonna wait to save my barrage," and they'll lose 3 or 4 fights. So if you're gonna do it, just commit to a super early ult and then switch off. You have to commit to using it and just get switching characters. So I feel like, as I said, you can't be like you can't value the ult so much that you're gonna be losing multiple fights.
Alrighty, well, you heard it here first, folks, but here they come, going for the straight pirate ship. The oof counter does go in favor of Lucifer, managing to land that first pick, but they've got to be careful. They have damage rolling in from all around. Great job displacing Dank Monkey, who is playing the Bastion, and it looks like it's going to be unsuccessful pirate ship here for the side of OwOSA. Mars does get anti-nated. A Space Mew left click W's their way to victory. Nat has got to back off. Blue over red here, working beautifully as we hit the 3-minute and 10-second mark. Great job here by Aether, able to keep them off that pirate ship.
Yeah, they did a good job, and they kind of got lucky too, because they had some big antis. They didn't really focus target. The team split really well. But unfortunately for them, OwOSA was just kind of in the middle of panic, and that pick on the Widow was giving them a man up, was probably the reason they ended up winning that fight. Ooh. And now Nat's got the advantage on this one, so we'll see how it goes out.
And the oof counter switches. We are now tied 1-1. Nat taking it back from Lucifer, but the pick does come in from Waifu, who does have the ultimate available. They've got to be careful, looking to try to get healed, and here comes the ultimate, looking to try to get in. The Nano Blade comes out. Dank Monkey in a bad spot, gets taken out. Xanthoxin looking to try to go for the 1v1. Naseef Khan gets taken out, and Aether is really finding their feet right now as they win it just over that bridge, or just under that bridge. Great job, great Nano Blade here by Waifu, able to displace the rest of the team. What did you see, Jet?
Well, you're seeing the inherent risk of pirate ship, which is your support, your defensive ults not being online yet. So they were able to get a free Nano Blade and just get the team wipe, and that's the risk you take with the pirate ship, is you will be behind an ult economy when the switches come out.
All right, looks like Lucifer up 2-1 against Nat in the oof counter. Naseef Khan looking to try to get a pick here on Waifu. And it looks like they're just starting to rush their way in. Here comes the ultimate from the Diva Bomb. Able to not hit anything, but Space Mew is just swinging away, managing to take out Naseef Khan. And it's just swinging, looking for a pick. Might get anti-nated, but has got the backup of the entirety of the team. Ooh, and Mars looking to try to land some solid picks. Here comes the ultimate coming in onto Xanthoxin, manages to land it on Waifu, and now they're starting to push their way forward, trying to see if maybe they can land themselves a solid pick. Here comes the hammer down. Great boop, a great counter hammer down from Space Mew. And Xanthoxin might be in a pretty precarious position, but it doesn't matter as the rest of OwOSA able to try to go ahead and clean this up. They've got someone onto the point. They're pushing their way in, but Waifu starts building in that forward offensive. He's got to be careful. Nat looking for blood, not looking to lose her spot. Still down 2-1 in the oof counter. Looking to try to get it. Waifu puts the offensive on him, but it's not going to be enough as OwOSA manages to get this point A.
Yeah, and they just let the Widow get around behind them and kind of split their team up. A really strong chunk there, and I don't really like that Aether's running the no defensive ults. The Mercy and Ana don't really work together very well for the DPS and tank comp that they're running. So I'd like to see them maybe run a Zenyatta if they're not dealing with a lot of flankers.
And the point is still being moved. Trickster trying to stay out of the line of sight of Lucifer as Nat manages to tie it up 2-2. And they're pushing their way on in. Space Mew in the front line, still trying to make it work. Not a lot of help. The Central Time pops the ultimate. That increased healing works out just fine. Space Mew gets taken out. Xanthoxin gets put to sleep, but with a nano boost in his favor, stays alive, starts swinging away on in, and here comes the Zarya ultimate looking to try to capitalize. Space Mew does get nano boosted, starts swinging away, and Xanthoxin in a terrible spot right now, has to go ahead and back off or get completely destroyed. Ooh, the ultimate, or the sleep does come out from Trickster. Space Mew does get anti-nated, and now they're swinging away. It's a counter Rhine battle, and there's a lot coming in Space Mew's direction. Lucifer looking for the pick, and great sleep there. It's absolutely huge. O.C.C manages to land too, and it seems that OwOSA, getting caught on the bat foot, has to regroup.
Yeah, and that was an all-out brawl towards the end there. But I feel like you're just noticing a little bit of Nassif getting a little overexcited there with the grab. They weren't really up in the fight. They were trying to use it as equalizer, and they didn't really have the follow-up for it.
Oh, alrighty. Well, great job, great hold there by the defense. But the question is, can they continue this hold without a solid defensive ult? Xanthoxin, for the third time in this particular map, gets put to sleep, and Lucifer is out for blood, looking for a pick. Space Mew gets the pick. O.C.C gets taken out. And great job there by the defense, really finding their footing. They've got 1 minute remaining, and they're using it to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and Aether's doing a really good job just bleeding out fights, using 1 or 2 ults being enough. Looks like Nat's going to be trying to be in the backline here to build up that EMP a little bit. The Lucifer Doomfist pick actually working out quite well. But then that was what they're talking about, is you can't be stubborn. If you're losing the Widow fights, just switch on something that can deal with it a little bit better. Aether's doing that.
Alrighty, here they come on in. Ultimates are in favor for OwOSA. Xanthoxin starting off that early fight, but so much damage coming his way. There's a nano-boosted Mew looking for blood, but knows better than to come into an enclosed space. Lucifer managing to land the pick here on Dank Monkey. Space Mew still up into the front line. Lucifer looking to try to get something big, and a nano boost coming in, looking to work, but yet another sleep happening. Great job there by Nat, as Mars is looking for more. Central Time has got to back off. Great job there, though, by the O.C.C, able to keep him alive, but OwOSA able to find their footing, pushing their way on in. Lucifer looking to try to go for a heavy defeat here against him. A great fire strike, managing to take him out. Space Me, the only one left, gets completely melted as OwOSA manages to get this next point.
And that's something they're going to run into on defense if they're running the Ana Mercy. Is you look at the other team, they're running Nanoblade, EMP, and Grab. With 0 defensive ults, you're guaranteeing at least 2 lost fights for the most part. So they're going to have to just try to play around it and, you know, hope that essentially you're playing that OwOSA is just not going to be able to chain their ults very well. So I think that's really kind of be holding back Aether for the next few fights.
Ooh, and great job there by Nat getting that hack in on Space Mew, but O.C.C does have the Sky, and Lucifer managing to pick out Dank Monkey, going for the Meteor Strike. There is no defensive ult to try to go ahead and help out. Great job, manages to get the translocator, but is that going to be enough? And the ultimate is coming out from Waifu, manages to land 1, looking for 2, and that's 2. Great job there by Aether with the early pick from Lucifer on Dank Monkey. There was no defensive ult, so now they've got to go ahead and back up. OwOSA only has 30 seconds for a very, very long push.
Yeah, and that's a situation where you want to see Dank Monkey playing more passive in general. You're seeing a lot of these fights he's dying early, which is opening the door for for Aether to commit a couple ults and not have to dump everything to try to get the fight won. So I think that's an adjustment that he can make and benefit his team a lot.
Ooh, and the focus fire looks like it's going to come on in, but the ultimate does come out from O.C.C. Trickster getting completely caught out, and the backup does come out for Space Me. The ultimate did come out for Dank Monkey, looking to try to push it on in, and a big hack comes on out. The ultimate does come out from Mars, looking to try to get into the back line, but Waifu with a counter dash managed to take him out. Xanthoxin still into the front line, and now they've only got just a little bit further to go, but they are in the overtime push. It's either make it or break it at this moment. The anti-nade comes on in and manages to make short work. Xanthoxin's got to be careful, gets protected by Nassif, and here it comes. Xanthoxin, maybe the hero here tonight, but they've got to hurry up and make it work, and the ultimate does come out from Waifu. There is no defensive ult to try to go ahead and keep him afloat, and Xanthoxin swinging away to try to make it work. And great job there, even with Mars trying to keep the dream alive. The punch able to knock him out, and the round 1 is complete. OwOSA unable to complete the map here on this map 4.
Well, and the door is open for Aether. That's a pretty common place for that people can push from. push fast. So I think they're going to be in good shape as long as they can get through the. I feel like the first point's really the one that locks people down a lot of the time. But they're just playing really well around each other, honestly. As I said, OwOSA, they're really kind of struggling with the high ground. I've noticed, and then you're seeing Mars get a little too excited, going for the back line, and he gets picked a lot. It's letting the team just kind of 5v6 for the most part. So they're doing a really good job of counter diving and taking advantage of things that are out of position. Where it seems like a lot of the time, once this fight starts, OwOSA is more on the defensively as far as their health pool goes. They can't be as aggressive on things that are really just really bothering their back line. So.
You also want to give it to Lucifer, able to keep Dank Monkey out of the fight, especially when he has the ultimate, man. That's
yeah, he's focusing that Lucio, and I gotta give it to Lucifer for just being able to make Doomfist work in the current season. Like, that's just impressive alone. But yeah, he's keeping Lucio out of the fight, and gosh, I feel like that's a situation where it's not really Dank's fault, because if you're starting to notice that as an off tank, you start saving bubble for it. Or you run like some kind of DPS that's got CC and just hang out with your Lucio. Just run a McCree and babysit. That kind of stuff has huge effects. You pick the Doomfist, it's 5v6. So OwOSA just not identifying the problem and taking advantage of it. So that's kind of on them.
Alrighty, well here they come in. Xanthoxin propped up, ready to go. Lucifer looking to what might be another type of pirate ship getting in directly in onto the point. Xanthoxin's got to be careful. That shield is going to get completely demolished. He does get anti-nated, and they have to take cover for the few seconds until they figure out where they're going to go. Waifu putting all the pressure on him, and Xanthoxin just does not have the healing available in order to make this work. Lucifer does get taken out by Mars relatively quickly as Space Mew puts him to sleep, and it looks like Aether able to really make this work in their favor. Space Mew just incredibly aggressive. Great pick here by Waifu, just a nuisance to OwOSA. Nat does not have the defense capability to have someone back her up, and it's going to be, I don't know, this might be a quick point A grab here from Aether.
Yeah, and they're going to have to make some adjustments, because double sniper is just not going to work against this, unless Aether just makes mistakes. So.
Ooh, and that's a lot to hope on, but here they come on in. Space Mew, they're looking to try to get rid of the main tank, and that could be it. Lucifer does get taken out, and it's, as you said, one quick mistake. It's all that they needed. And now there's only the two supports still staying onto the point. Try to keep it going, but it's not going to be it. And Mars is just on fire with these arrows.
Yeah, and they gave them too much space to work with, that's for sure. Sips T needed to do a better job of holding that window so they didn't just get it for free, and him staying on cart was a big reason as why they weren't able to keep that. But without a defensive ult being anywhere close and Waifu with Blade, he could easily turn this to be a quick cap again.
All right, here they come on in. Xanthoxin still in the front line. Has got to be careful. Knows just what they're really going with. And here it comes. The anti-nade does work, but he can't go ahead and offer as much damage as he would like to. And here comes a Nano Blade, as we talked about. Nat getting taken out. Oh, great ability here from Mars, managing to pick up 2. Actually managing to pick up 3, and it was the Diva mech, so great job.
Yeah, and Mars did a good job of just juking the Genji so that he couldn't get a dash reset off of him. And then not to mention the zoning dragon. Mars was probably the MVP of that fight. Just an all-around really strong place.
Terrible there by Dank Monkey doing a tactical crouch on Xanthoxin while he slept. But all right, here he comes. Lucifer popping out the ultimate, looking to try to make short work of somebody. Managing to find it on Nat, and big bomb by Sips T, able to grab the spaced out team completely by surprise as Aether managing to get themselves onto this point A.
Yeah, and that is really unfortunate for them to get blown up by that bomb, because they were looking really good and looking strong for a little while, but they're able to get the pirate ship totally set back up, and we'll see if they're able to counter it. If Sips T is just able to harass the high ground a little bit more, they're gonna have a really tough time even getting to Lucifer.
Alrighty, here they come on in. The pirate ship is in effect, and Space Mew protecting Lucifer from everything and anything that will come, but Mars not stopping, looking to try to find the proper angle. OwOSA trying to go completely around, but the anti-nade on Xanthoxin might prove to be a little bit too much. The healing is coming down, but the barrier gets destroyed. Oh, and great job there by Zen, able to recognize that Space Mew saw what was going on. Here comes the ultimate, though, from Waifu, gets boofed off and has absolutely no way to protect himself. Naseef Khan finishing out that pick, and it looks like it's going to be Aether routed. Ruby getting caught out of position, and that's a hard stagger as OwOSA able to find their defensive foot once again.
Yeah, and seeing Waifu blade when their Ana was about 5% away from Nano and already being down 2 to 3 people, you just hate to see it, honestly. But yeah, if he would have held that, he could get a lot more value, and that would almost get rid. Oh, that's a really bad, unfortunate first pick, seeing your Ana go down that early. But yeah, but not having Dank Monkey or not being there to get the sound barrier out of Dank Monkey, he can just kind of use it freely now. So that might be kind of a double hit for them.
And it looks like Nat is going to be doing a little bit more of that babysitting, trying to keep Lucifer on his toes, especially with a hacked. If you have a hacked Doomfist standing in the front of everybody, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, and the Ana's getting harassed in the backline right now by Nat. She's just looking to do the biggest pest she can. So the name is very fitting in that situation.
Just missing the G. Here they come. The sound barrier does come on out as Trickster pops the ultimate, but manages to stay out of the way. And Dank Monkey losing his ult. Great job there, though, by Trickster trying to keep the dream alive, but it's not going to be enough healing. Has to go ahead and back off. OwOSA able to counter this just right. And it looks like Waifu trying to get the pick here on Naseef Khan. They're in the final stretches. They might be able to grab this point B.
Yeah, and they definitely did a good job with. Well, Space Me had a big slam to begin with, but canceling Dank Monkey out of a sound barrier was absolutely huge. So we'll see if they go for a recontest here or just give it to the other team.
Oh, and the hammer down comes out from Xanthoxin, but unable to do much of anything. Here comes Mars trying to shoot it, manages to land too, and it seems like OwOSA is not out of this fight just yet, making their way on in. O.C.C loses his mech at the end of that. That's a hard stagger, and Aether, what could have been their victory, is slowly slipping through their fingers. They are getting to the make it or break it point with only 35 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and then that's just a situation where they didn't actually send their whole team in one direction. They let themselves get split. With Mars going down early, though, the door is still open for them to retake it.
And Nat does have the ultimate available. Dank Monkey on the point is the only one there. Great defense. Are they able to make work of it at all? Xanthoxin, though, getting caught out. Great job by Trickster from the ground to try to keep him alive. And that is a wasted ultimate here from Waifu. Space Mew swinging away, but great job by Dank Monkey to help him out. Great ultimate here from Naseef Khan, and here it is, the final bits of it. O.C.C not able to take it out. Central Time gets taken, and it's going to be OwOSA with the solid victory, not letting Aether make it work. They win this series 3-1.
And that's just a situation where, I mean, gosh, Aether was so close on so many of the fights, and it's just, I feel like that's a game there that if we played this 5 times in a row, it'd be a 3-2, you know, every single time. They did a really good job, and I'd say OwOSA had some really clean recontests, honestly. So I think that was one thing that they just did a really good job of, that ended up making the difference in this match. Mars was just playing out of his mind the last couple points there.
Yeah, no, great job. Great job there by Mars, really putting a lot of that pressure. I want to give it to Nat, though. She was also playing incredibly well, especially towards that last little bit, trying to keep that backline pressure and then trying to put that pressure on Lucifer. So, folks, thank you for joining us here tonight. You guys have seen it. Aether thought they had it. They almost made it work, but it just wasn't enough. Losing it just prior to that point B. OwOSA coming out with the win 3-1. So that was just incredibly nutty. Jet, we have got to talk about who is your player of the game.
Oh, my player of the game. There were I feel like it was almost different players the match every time, honestly, depending on which map it was. I would say that Naseef had some big brain grabs and big brain plays on Hanamura. Lucifer had some amazing plays on Hanamura as well. For the most part, as far as overall consistency goes, I'd say Mars was struggling the first 2 matches, but then really came alive the last 2. So I would say overall, all 4 player of the match goes to Lucifer for me. Honestly, I think he had a really, really good impact. Was really doing a good job of harassing the OwOSA backline to really enable his team for the most part, and just had a really solid game overall, and didn't really have those matches where he just didn't contribute a lot.
Okay. Then I'm going to give this one, you know what though, I'll agree with you there. Mars was having a little bit of trouble, but still able to be a force to be reckoned with, was really, really clean with those kills, whether they're playing Brigitte, whether they're playing the Hanzo, but really at the very end is where he's shown. Mars, I have got to give it to you. That was incredibly nutty Hanzo play. And, you know, just that play of the game was really showing it, using the ultimate properly, able to really keep a lot of Aether on the back foot. So that's who that comes from me. I was really impressed. This one really, really kept me on my toes, especially on that last little bit. And, you know, it's really what you want to see. Now, I just got the scores for the Monarch v Frost battle, and it looks like it's going to be Frost the victor, 3-1. So as of right now, the 2 leaders of the Plat teams tied for first place are going to be OwOSA and Frost. Meanwhile, Aether and Monarch are going to be fighting for that. It's going to be the third place mark, but there still is a lot of season to go and still a lot to work with. So those of you in the chat, please give us a hashtag for who you thought your player of the match was. And honestly, man, I'm really happy that you know, finally you're on here after almost a year of commentating.
Yeah, it's not really my thing, but for the most part, it is a good time, and I think that, I mean, there's a lot of players here that are just a lot of small little fixes away from being really, really high quality and way out of their rank, to be quite honest with you. So I'm excited to see them develop over time, and heck, even the people that have developed since I've been here. You know, there's been people that have gone from Plat to Borderline Masters, and even a little bit farther than that. So just probably my favorite thing is seeing the players develop over time. So look forward to seeing what these teams can do and the adjustments that they make, because I feel like Aether is probably, I'd probably say 4 or 5 fights away from having 3-1 in their favor, to be honest. So just the little things add up. It's kind of the best thing that I could say. So I think if they just buckle down on some of the smaller stuff, they'll be a team that's going to be giving some teams a run for their money towards the end there. And OwOSA is also the same way. So it's just whoever's going to make the tweaks and kind of keep practicing more than anything.
Alrighty. Well, folks, we've hit the end of the map here. I don't really see much. I do see Dank Monkey throwing out a little bit of love here for the Nassif grab. And no, it was a really, I want to call that a 1,000 IQ play. So here we are at the end of the show. Thank you guys for joining us here. As I say every time you guys see me, please tell your mom, dad, sister, grandma, that creepy little old lady that lives across the street. Go ahead and just tell her to watch it. You don't have to sit there and hold her hand through it. Just let her know the basics. Let her watch the rest. If you are interested and you're brand new here, please go ahead and hit the application below. If you just want to be a community member, go ahead and sign up. There's absolutely no charge to it. Just come on in and, you know, be able to meet with the players, hang out. We do play quite a bit of things here. If you are Master, Grandmaster, and above and would be considering coaching, go ahead and apply to that. And you're going to be talking to this guy. Well, not me, but the other guy.
Yeah, that's me.
You're going to be talking to him concerning your coaching assignment and so on and so forth. And if you would like to go ahead and be part of the stream team, go ahead and shoot me a message. If you find me on Discord, we do have applications available for that as well. And the thing is, the bigger we get, the more we can give you guys in terms of prizes, in terms of giveaways. And that's really ultimately the goal here. So, with that said, I have been the Loud T-Rex, a.k.a. the Whispering Triceratops, a.k.a. the Questiony Quinzanosaurus, and this has been Jet.
Yeah, this would be me. I don't have as many cool nicknames as you, though, which you hate to see. But
So, all right. So, do you have anything else for him?
I don't think so. It's just aside from the a little bit after this, probably about 15 minutes, I'm going to be hosting the stream for a little 3v3 tournament that we're doing. A little bit less high octane than these guys going at it, but it'll still be fun. More of a community night thing. People are welcome to join, spectate, take part. We've already had our team signed up, and there will be a little prize at the end for them. So if you guys are interested in watching that, that'll be about 15 minutes.
Alrighty, folks. you guys have yourselves a great night, and yeah, hop on in for that so you can hear. I don't know if you like this voice, you can hear it a little bit more later. So, see you guys. Have a good one.